We'll just begin in a minute. So, namaste everyone, and it is an immense pleasure of mine to welcome you to this third international conference on universal practices and principles of integral education being organized by the Center for Human Sciences at Rishihood University in collaboration with the International Scientific School of Universology. Before we move forward, I would request all our dignitaries of today, our chief guest, our keynote speaker, Registrar Ma'am, Sampadanand Sir, Mariana and Tatiana, to please take your seat on the dais. Please, sir. So as is our tradition, we will like to begin with Ekagrata by observing a little silence. I request you all to kindly close your eyes and observe your breath for a minute. Om. So welcome once more, and this is the third edition of our collaboration. We started in 2024, where we all met in Goa, in amidst the beautiful cliffs of Dona Paula, and we had our conference there on yoga. Previous year, we met here on the first floor, and we discussed the healing meditation practices that we have that we practice in our day-to-day life. And today we have gathered here on the occasion of Basant Panchami. As you know, Basant Panchami marks Saraswati Puja here, and Goddess Saraswati is the goddess of learning. And so today we are celebrating this event, and we will be talking about education. And amidst the global tensions, we have gathered here to strive for what Sri Aurobindo calls the ideal of human unity. And with this, I would request my colleagues, Dipankarji and Vimleshji, to formally begin this event with Mangalacharan. So kindly proceed ahead.
भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनुभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु शारदाराधनम् ॐ शारदा शारदां भोजवदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं सन्निधिं क्रियात् ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
Thank you very much, Dipankar ji and Vimlesh ji. And the mantra said, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. All the people in the world, let them be at peace and happiness. And with this, we move forward with our conference. And now I would like to introduce our dignitaries present on the stage here. We have with us as our chief guest today, Professor Shobhit Mathurji. He is the Honorable Vice Chancellor at Rishihood University. He's a engineer turned social activist turned educator. And the mission in his life has been to produce more and more leaders who are self-aware about their self as well as the society. We keep getting support and love from him for all the endeavors that we take up. We also have as our keynote speaker for today, Professor Pankaj Gupta ji. Professor Pankaj Gupta ji is the Executive Director of CESM and Senior Fellow at Jindal India Institute, and is a Professor of Management at OP Jindal Global University. So I welcome you, sir, today. We also have with us Dr. Gunjan Rajput ji. Dr. Gunjan Rajput ji is the registrar and head of the institution at Rishihood University. Dr. Rajput, it is because of her that we see all the smooth flow of operations happening at Rishihood University. And we have two types of administrators. One who treat organizations as organizations, and second, who treat organizations and turn it into a family. So she works with all her love and support and treats us all as a unit in her family. And that is why we welcome you, ma'am, here today. We also have with us as our organizing secretaries for today, Dr. Mariana and Tatiana. Mariana ji is Doctor of Science in Education and coordinator of the International Union of Universities in International Scientific School of Universology. And Tatiana ji is PhD in Public Administration, and she is also coordinator of the postgraduate department of the International Scientific School of Universology. So I welcome both of you, ma'am, here. And we also have amidst us as the convener of this program, Professor Dr. Sampadanand Mishra ji. He is the director, Center for Human Sciences at Rishihood University. And it is because of him that we have gathered here today, and he has provided us with this opportunity to come together and be a part of this intellectual deliberation. So I welcome all of you, and now we will proceed towards the felicitation of guests. So first and foremost, I would request Professor Shobhit Mathurji to kindly felicitate our keynote speaker for today, Professor Pankaj Gupta ji. I would request our organizing secretary, Dr. Mariana, to kindly felicitate our chief guest for today, Professor Shobhit Mathurji. I would request Dr. Tatiana to please felicitate Dr. Gunjan Rajput ji. And I would request Dr. Gunjan Rajput ji to please felicitate our organizing secretaries, Mariana ji and Tatiana ji both. And finally, I would request Professor Shobhit Mathur ji to please felicitate Professor Sampadanand Mishra ji. And now to set the tone for the event and to welcome our guests and deliver welcome address, I would request Director, Center for Human Sciences, Professor Sampadanand Mishra ji to kindly come over. Thank you, sir.
Namaskar to all of you. And our Professor Dr. Shobhit Mathur, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Registrar Dr. Rajput, Dr. Pankaj Gupta ji, our keynote speaker, Mariana, Tatiana, and other participants from countries outside India, and my colleagues. This conference is the third one, as Nilav explained. First conference, our focus was on yoga, yogic practices, meditation. The second conference here was more focused on the meditative practices. And this time, our focus is going to be on the principles of integral education, the best practices which can help us understanding, deepening our understanding on integral education. When we speak about integral education, it was seeded in the modern time by Swami Vivekananda, who, while defining education, said, education is the manifestation of the perfection which lies already within. There cannot be a better definition of education than this. But how to manifest, and what is perfection? Perfection of what? Going further, he explained that it is the ever perfect nature of the soul which has to come forward and start influencing the rest part of the consciousness. So integral education is centered around one idea: the manifestation, the growth, development, evolution of the consciousness. And consciousness operates through its various layers. It's very complex. If we contemplate, and today it's a buzzword, consciousness, it has many, many layers, even subtle layers that difficult to understand for the human being. But we operate at a surface level. Education is needed for the manifestation of the perfection of each layer of consciousness. That's what the philosophy and the practice of integral education do. It's more centered again on the evolving soul, the soul in evolution. In the ordinary level, we all are operated by our outer beings, the projected self, the desire driven, ego-driven self which keeps us engaged with the outer world. So we do not achieve the perfection when we are concentrated only on our outer beings. So we need to go deep within, because integral education philosophy again focuses on the powers within and helps us moving from within and then operate in the world with the strength of the self, which is ever perfect. It is not the physical being of ours which should become the leader. It is not the vital being of ours which should become the leader. It is not even the mental being of ours which should become the leader. It is not even what lies beyond mind should become the leader of ours. The true leader is the inmost being of ours, which Sri Aurobindo, while synthesizing the principles of integral education, said it is the psychic being. That emergence of psychic being to take the lead of human life and manifest the perfection is the core essence of integral education. How it can be done? Sri Aurobindo has given a framework to us, and in 1941 a school was established in Pondicherry to do this experiment. Since then, this experiment on integral education is going on, and it is entirely practice based. We will talk more about it in the next session when I address on and give the framework of integral education. But this is the core essence that we need to bring to the front the leader of our consciousness, the leader of our life, the psychic being, the divine spark. And integral education is all about transforming that divine entity into a divine being, into a divine personality. So this is the journey. And what practices, what can help us do that? This is what is the subject matter of our conference. So with this, I welcome you all, and then I expect that we will have a very fruitful discussion in these 2 days. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Mishra, for talking to us about integral education and how it is connected with the growth, manifestation, and evolution of consciousness. And also explaining how, in terms of Sri Aurobindo, the true leader is the psychic being within us, and we need to manifest it to take the lead of human life. Moving forward, I request Dr. Mariana and Dr. Tatiana from the International Scientific School of Universology to kindly address us.
Okay, we are extremely happy to be here for the second time in the Rishihut University, and for the third time to hold this conference, the conference on education. We are the members of the International Scientific School of Universology, and we are co-creators and participants of the new epoch that begins and striving to live the universal laws of nature. And we would like to show today and tomorrow our presentations about how we practice this new style of life, new philosophy of life. We are the guides of the spirit of the new era, epoch of Aquarius, Uranus, and we bring here new ideas to show you how we using the ideas of Sri Aurobindo, of other Indian philosophers and scientists. We develop these ideas and to return here to show you how we can use it in our everyday life. It's very pleasant for me to represent the members of our group, because here we have representatives of 4 countries. And you know that unity of countries nowadays is not so easy way, but we shows this unity. So I would like to ask to show our members from Russia. Поднимитесь, пожалуйста, кто с России. Yeah, it's our Russian members. Thank you. And now we have also our members of group from Ukraine. Thank you. From Belarus. And from Poland. Всё, передайте слово.
We really welcome all conference participants, and even that day, this is the 3rd conference with our partners, the great team of Human Science Rishihud University, Center of Human Science, and we are very grateful for our partnership for all these 3 years, because we go there with very joy and happy in our heart. That's why I think it's very good to see a real friendship in your eyes. It's very heartily. For us, the conference is a part of large research expedition for 3rd time in India. And our great team of International Scientific School of Universology have a very particular aim of this expedition, because in 3rd time we have a triple of aim. One of the first is how investigate how to change the development of humanity from involution way or involution path to evolution way. And we are speaking about consciousness today, and even in this conference, which is dedicated to education, it's very important in our investigation expedition. And the second aim of our expedition is how to close the door with evil, maybe, because we have a good experience how to learn and collect all of traditional and cultures, all of 12 civilization humanity. And we are investigating in this expedition their predestination of Indian civilization in this circle of mission, maybe not a mission, Indian mission. And the 3rd aim is how to up the Kundalini, rise, how to rise the force of Kundalini of all humanity beings. It's very great aim of our expedition for 3rd time, and we really think that we may to change an experience and our results, not only in this conference officially, but in our talking, in our discussion, and in every topic what we in all presentation, our presentation. And this year is significant for us that before our conference there is a round table in Orville. And the theme of this roundtable was unity all civilization and nations and the whole planetary organism. And with the result of discussions and that round table, we are here. That's why we think that all our work will be very fruitful, and we will have a very good result for future friendship and cooperations and partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Dr. Mariana and Dr. Tatiana, for addressing us and stressing upon the unity between individuals amidst the chaos going between nations. And also pointing out the aims and objectives of this conference, and as you beautifully put it in the terms that the need is to raise the kundalini of all human beings. So thank you very, very much. And we have a little change in plan. Before we move forward, we would like to launch this book, which is titled Universal Principles and Practices of Integral Education. This book contains the research papers that were submitted for this conference, and the editors, Professor Polyakov, Dr. Mariana, and Dr. Tatiana. So a huge round of applause for them for coming up with this huge work. And I would request Professor Polyakov to also come forward for the book launch. Please. Give one book to everyone. Yeah, she's giving. So request to you, all of you to kindly take this book and show it to our audience as to how the cover page is. So thank you very much. Moving forward, now I request Professor Shobhit Mathurji to please come forward and deliver his address.
Namaste. Thank you, Nilab, for the great introduction and setting the stage. I welcome everyone on the dais and all our guests off the dais to Rishihood University once again. In my introduction, Nilab was saying that I have a technology background and have moved into the space of education. So though that has happened physically, I'm still in two different worlds. So I live as a technologist as well. I track a lot of technology changes that is happening globally. At the same time, I'm also a part of a university here and delivering education. So why I'm saying this is the view about education is very different in these two worlds. In the technology world today, if you see what's happening in the Silicon Valley or in China or other places, it is almost sensed that education has no further utility. What does this mean? Everything that you want to learn, already artificial intelligence has come up and it is there in your pockets. You can access it as and when you need in the form that you need. So very famous technologists say that the era of education is over because people can learn at their own pace in a way that they want. They don't have to go to a school or a college anymore. Okay, so that is one very dominant view in the technology world, and it is only increasing since the AI era has taken off. However, when we come more to the education space, we find that that is not true. There is more and more demand for good education. So once we started Rishihood University about 5 years back, we didn't anticipate so much of love that we would get from society to have an education in a university like us. So what is this dichotomy? Two different worlds where the technologists believe that education is over, while society is thinking we need education. I think the answer lies right in the title of the conference itself. There is more and more demand for integral education, or what we call education, as Dr. Sampadananda Mishra was saying, that will manifest the perfection in you. It will bring out your divine self. That is the need of education that is only increasing. If you talk only about skilling, if you talk only about assimilating information, perhaps that era is over. But what is needed now is more and more integral education. And I'm very proud that the rishis of Bharat, particularly Sri Aurobindo, whose reference has come out so many times today, has talked about this many decades ago, in fact. And it is becoming more and more relevant. And only a conference on education, and particularly integral education, can bring people from different nationalities that are at war in one room. That is the power of integral education. Because if we only think of information and technology, we will all be at loggerheads and we think that the world is going to enter a third world war very soon. But when we talk more about spirituality, integrality, integral humanism, integral education, the power of that philosophy is all of us can come together and think together and act together. On this land where we are currently sitting, this is the state of Haryana in Bharat. And Neelab started by saying that we are celebrating Vasant Panchami, which is the worship of goddess Saraswati. But in India, goddess Saraswati also took the form of a river. And the river flowed exactly where we are sitting today. So we are on the banks of the river Saraswati, which a few thousand years back has changed its course and gone somewhere else. But it used to flow here. And we are sitting on the banks of that river. So there's a river of knowledge, and we are sitting in an educational institution that is representing knowledge. Interestingly, she is also called by the name Bharati, and India is also called Bharat. So knowledge has been given so much importance in our land that there is a festival that is celebrated in her recognition. There is a river on her name. The country also takes her name. And the philosophy of education has come out from those lands for a few thousand years ago that is still finding relevance today. Not just relevance, it is perhaps the most powerful force that can bring nations, cultures together. So we are sitting at a very important moment in history that the power of integral education is becoming more and more important. And I'm very happy that we are able to convene this conference, bringing different nationalities together. What will come out of this conference is going to not just change us, but is going to happen and create a ripple effect across the world for time to come. Thank you and welcome once again.
Thank you, Professor Mathur, for this beautiful address and stressing upon the need for good education in our times. And speaking about the power of integrality in education and the importance of knowledge in our land, and how it is a powerful force to bring nations and cultures together. Moving forward, we have Dr. Gunjan Rajputji, Registrar at Rishihood University, to please come forward and deliver your address. Welcome, ma'am.
Dhanyavad Nila. It's very difficult to speak after Shobit ji, but I'll try to do justice with this address. First of all, welcome all of you to the land of rishis, and all the beautiful places, from all the beautiful places. I am representing 3 states of Bharat. So I am representing Uttar Pradesh, where Lord Krishna born, and then I spent my life in Delhi, the power capital of India. And right now I am in Haryana, where the Mahabharata has been written. So uh, I'm a typical Hindi bhashi. I'm very nervous while speaking in English. I'm not that great in speaking in English, but I'll try to do justice that I'll pass on my emotions, what I'm trying to say through this language. Uh, how I connect or I relate with this topic of integral education, it lies in my background. I studied education as a degree, and I studied Bachelor's of Education in 2005. All the students who are studying education in any of the Indian university has to study the philosophy of education. And by default, we are supposed to study 4 philosophers of education, and those are Swami Vivekanand, Sri Aurobindo, Rabindranath Tagore, and Mahatma Gandhi. So in 2005, in the examination pattern, we were supposed to write an answer of 20 marks, where we are supposed to write the philosophy of education of any of the philosopher. And I was so good in cramming the answers, and whenever I used to write the answer, I was mixing the words. What Swamiji said, I wrote in Vivekanandaji's ka answer, in Sri Aurobindo's answer, and some words from the philosophy of Aurobindo in Swami Vivekanand. Luckily, I got good marks. But later in life, when I was doing my doctorate in education, I was thinking, I was mixing the words, yet I was getting the good marks. What was the reason behind it? And when I read all the philosophies in depth, what I found that the core of each philosophy was somehow same. Everyone was talking about the core of self-realization. Be it Swami Vivekanand, who stressed upon self-actualization, man-making. Be it Sri Aurobindo, who stressed on integral education. Be it Sri Rabindranath Tagore, who stressed on Anand, joy in education. So the core of philosophy of education of each philosopher was same. That means all the rishis were saying the same thing, that the real meaning of education is to bring the real self from within. And that's how this word came, E plus duko, bring out from within. That's the real meaning of education. But what happened in the history? Then while teaching a course of education development of India to all the UG students, I was reading all the education policies in depth, which came in 60s, in 50s, in 40s, that way. And I found out that in 1947, after that, when the literacy rate was bit low in India, the agenda of government is to spread education in the country. That's how in India, all the commissions, all the acts, all the abhiyan for realizing the meaning of education came. And in 2005, in the history of India, the entire concept of education has been transferred into constructivism, the theory of constructivism, and all the textbook has been changed in 2005. Then very recently, in 2020, when national education policy came, then when I was reading the policy, I came to realize that the logic was very similar. Whatever the challenges of implementing the national education policy, but the logic is very clear. Right from after class 6th till the PhD, a student has a freedom to choose their own subjects. They can make their own bouquets. And that is the real meaning of education. I have a freedom to choose what I want to study, what I want to become. That's how we are very close to this concept of integral education, the real meaning of education. Then, when I joined Rishihood, then I realized in past 6 years how we are integrating this entire concept in this campus. So I'll talk about 5 points here, how we are connecting this entire concept. First, the name of the university itself. It's Rishihood. The name is being given by Swami Vivekanand. So this is the first step which the university has taken in this direction. The highest being of a person, Rishitva. The second thing is the existence of Center for Human Science in this modern university. So this is an example that how Rishihood is trying to bring this concept into the core curriculum, Center for Human Sciences, which is doing this entire conference and working on various projects of Sanskrit, Sri Aurobindo, Indian knowledge system, is pushing very hard to us to how to integrate this concept in our core curriculum. Third is our foundation program, which every undergrad student has to study, where everyone has to understand the self and the society, the world and the challenges, and to find the solution of solving those challenges. Fourth, our multi-discipline education concept, where after first year, every student has a freedom to choose their own subjects. Whatever they are studying in degree, they can study some other subjects also. That's how they have the freedom to make their own path. And lastly, the presence of spiritual coach in the campus, 24 hours. Yet there is a modern concept of mental health. But because of spiritual coach being present in the campus, we are trying to give freedom to all our learners to have freedom of expression. So that's how we at Rishihood are trying to integrate this entire concept into reality. And I find myself very fortunate that I'm able to see this entire journey in this lifetime. And I'm very thankful to Sampath ji for establishing the Center for Human Sciences and giving me this opportunity that now today I can relate to all my answers which I wrote in 2005, that how those answers are actually real in this real world. Thank you all for joining in this conference, and I'm very confident that the outcomes which will come from this conference will help us in integrating the concept of integral education in our curriculum. Thank you all. Dhanyavad.
Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Rajput, for this wonderful address and stressing and taking examples from your own personal life and explaining to us the relevance of integral education and pointing out the 5 things that we are doing uniquely at Rishihood, namely starting from the name of the university to the existence of Center for Human Sciences, to foundation program, to multidisciplinary education concept, giving more and more freedom to our students, and the presence of a spiritual coach in the campus 24/7 to whom the students can go at any time with their problems, with their ideas, and just talk to him and find some companionship when they lack it. So thank you very much. And now moving forward, I would request now Professor Pankaj Gupta ji, professor at OP Jindal Global University, to deliver his keynote address. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaskar. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor to be here. And I'm very grateful to Sampadanji for inviting me here. See the very side that people from 4 countries are here, including Russia and Ukraine, trying to explore, the universal values and the different possibilities in life is a very, very remarkable occasion. So, with all due regards to all the dignitaries on the dais and in the audience, I'd like to say that already the whole gist of the oneness has already been shared by Sampadan Mishra ji in his opening address, and then supported by Gunjan ji and Shobhit ji. I'd like to share certain aspects that how we can apply these things in more practical way in our own life. When we are not looking into what kind of great things we already have within us, then our eyes are always searching. We always try to see, okay, let me get more money, more position, more power, or I should be getting more peace. So, whenever I am searching about these kind of meanings outside, then there is always a search. And that is, sometime our expectation will be met, sometime, and mostly it will not be met. And that will be deviating me from my own equilibrium, where I am. Uh, and, not connecting with the soul, but, something else in life. And that is, affecting our sense of belonging, our own sense of happiness. If you look into the Sri Aurobindo's philosophy, and if you follow the dreams, the vision he shared, and the kind of purnata which we think about, that purnata is not, purnata means the completeness, the wholeness within us. It is not someday, but it is right now, right here. But the question is that if you start only thinking about it without experiencing it, then it will be of no use. We have a system like where we start with, the manana. Manana means you only understand, like somebody has said something and you say, yeah, I also feel that way. Then there is something is a janana, when you start, understanding the thing. Then it is a samajna, then you really understand in a little deeper way. And finally, the thing is hona, being. The whole world has been so much talking about do this and have this, doing and having kind of a thing. You do this, you smile, you will get some good response. But what is behind that smile? If you're not happy, satisfied from within, can you really smile? So the whole thing is, the whole world has been shifting from doing to being. But the being can only be understood by somebody who has known that I, me, myself, and my body, my mind, and my consciousness, they are able to make a difference in the different kind of domains in life. Most of the people are living their life only at the body level. If the body is hurt, they will understand it is a hurt. But how much you've hurt maybe in the mind, how much, and also we don't even know what is hurt of the conscious, which only somebody who is really, who is going to experience that kind of inner journey. And there, India has a very good system of meditation. And meditation is also different type of meditation we have, including the meditation on the heart, meditation on the crown chakra, also observing the breath. Like I was very happy to see the ekagrata thing is starting with the whole thing. Because we are doing many things in a very mindless manner, or in a heartless manner, or consciousless manner. Because somebody else is running, I am also running. Without truly understanding that what will I achieve by that running. The different kind of goals have been given to us by the society. You should have this kind of money, then only you will be known as successful. This kind of positions you have, then only you will be considered as successful or happy. Unless you get married, you are incomplete. Unless you have 2, 3 children, then your future is not secured. But who is giving these kind of different dimension to me? They are not mine. Somebody else has, put that seed into your mind and into your sense of consciousness. And that is why you also feel that, okay, I also have to follow this. else I'll become an outlier. So we need to really understand that relating us into very profound question of who am I, and relating to ourselves at the level of consciousness, what we call as a chetna, that is a very powerful thing. In India, already Shobhiji mentioned about Bharat and Bharati. So, and Basant Panchami was yesterday, and today also is that day. So we have a goddess of wisdom, Saraswati ji, and she has, three symbols. She has a veena, as you can see in that picture. Veena is a gun, that is a music. Then you have the book, that is a gyan, knowledge. And then you have this mala, and that is the dhyan. So when you try to understand the external world and also the internal world, these were the sources by which you can access to that knowledge. Focusing on the music, focus on the knowledge, and also on the meditation. So once you do that, then only you will know that what are you getting, what are you missing, and or are you already at the stage of purnata right now? Because one way is to live a life that something is missing in life. So always keep chasing, 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 and one day you are dead and gone. And without realizing your Subhav and Swadharma, what is the unique gift I bring to the world? What kind of seed of possibility I have within me? So those kind of questions are left unexplored. I am also living normal life. I'm born, like what you say, A, B, C, D. A is the Atman, B is the birth, and D is the death. So your journey is from B to D, from birth to death. But in between, you are missing the C. What is C? Yeah, any answer? Chetana, yes, the consciousness and also the choice. So, what kind of life we really want to live, that is my choice. Yeah, I can continue to live a life of misery. Oh, I don't have this. I got this war, when it is going to end. Why it is happening in my life, in my janma. Second is that to accept the things as they are, and then to see what I can do in that level. Knowing fully well that I already have that chetna within me, that consciousness within me, and by which I am not less nor higher than anyone else. Even if Modi ji would have been here, he also has the same level of chetna or consciousness what my friend from Ukraine or Russia are here, or I am there. So in that way, there is a lot of universality there. And if you relate to us at the level of consciousness, the chetna, then those kind of limitations on our belief, they start disappearing in our life. How do you relate to this? Are you finding it okay? Yeah? I don't want to give a talk something because there are so many great people sitting here. Okay. So in order to explore our chetna and start living a life that we love, or loving the life that we live, it is very, very important for us to have a sense of self-love and the self-acceptance. The way the things are and the way the things are not. Then there is no tomorrow. Because in that case, we feel many times, I'll be happy when I will have this. I will be happy when I'll become this age. But that tomorrow never comes. There was a study, I was earlier president of IHMR, that was the largest health university in India, part of the Johns Hopkins. So we are doing very interesting research that how much of percentage of time you live in the moment. Any guess? Out of 100, how much time we live in the moment? Any percentage, any guess, please? 50%? Yeah? Or more? It is only 18%, 1/8. That means 82% of the life you are living just like this. So where that 82% of the time our energy goes, that goes either in the regret of the past or anxieties about the future. So the more we are living a life of consciousness, the more we are living a life in the now, our possibility of connecting with our consciousness goes higher and higher. And if you focus on your breath, you will see great miracle. If you start seeing many things, like there is a clear sky and there are a lot of clouds coming and going, but in that way, the nature of the sky does not change. It is still the same. So when we start also looking at our life like a sky, many things are coming and going, and we are unaffected by that. So it is known as looking the life as a witness, you know, and then it is giving you great insights. And also the authentic listening. You know that when in Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna wanted to know what exactly is bothering Arjuna. So he wanted to understand the motive. What exactly is the issue? So many times he remained just silent. Sometimes he asked very pointed questions. Sometimes he encouraged Arjuna. So that the real truth came out. What exactly was really bothering him? So the art of understanding the motive, then the art of the changing the motive, that come from very authentic listening first of all. But what do? We are listening just to answer back. When somebody is sharing something, we hardly listen. We try to tell, yeah, I know it all. I'm already greater than you. So in that possibility, that exchange of the chetna, understanding of the truth, those things will take a back seat. And also the third thing is about the acceptance. Acceptance of the things, the way the things are and the way they are not. So these three practices, the seeing the thing, listening the thing, and also accepting the things, they will open up our source towards the chetna, the consciousness, and further invoking the oneness within. And that oneness which is there, maybe in us, maybe in Putin also, maybe in Trump also, maybe their current chetna does not look like that. Again, there is certain answer given in the spirituality itself. Why somebody is doing very much overacting? Because they are very, very empty from inside. More you are filled from inside, you will not, there is no need to prove yourself. No need to say, I should, acquire this country, I should acquire Greenland, this and that. That person will know, Sarvajan Hitaya, Sarvajan Sukhaye, I am only one part of the entire consciousness. The entire consciousness, the entire Chetna is one only. And that person will also may not be aware about the Mrityu Bodh. There is a sense of the death. One day you are gone. And people sometimes they are into a lot of power. They have that kind of intoxication that they do not know the real impact, the real thing about their actions. So when you're relating yourself as a Chetna, as a conscious, and which is already complete right now, then your actions will also be very, very mindful. Before hurting anybody, you will think, if I'm hurting somebody, I'm also hurting myself because we all are interconnected. So that will, make the world a much better place to live. The other way to experience a whole complete life uh, with the Purnata, I can share some more things. So one is the ahar, what we eat. That also impact our chetna. Not only what we eat, we also need to know what we consume, like what kind of material, what we watch, what I listen. That is also the ahar. The second thing is vihar. Vihar means how we live our life. These days, people are having so much thing that uh, it is okay to wake up late in the night, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then going to sleep. So we are not following the circadian rhythm. Like the sun goes up, I'm also up. Down, I'm also down. So when you don't follow that, there are certain changes in our body. There are certain tendencies which are supposed to be not very fruitful for us. So those things start happening in our life. So as far as possible, we need to see and to follow the circadian rhythm in aligning with my own Swabhav and Swadharma. Swabhav means my inner nature. Swadharma means what is the thing which I am supposed to do. And that will not come immediately. It will come by lot of, observation, lot of, understanding who I am and who I am not. So that is the second thing. Then vichar. Vichar means the kind of thought process I have. If all the time I believe, oh, I'm a victim, this should not have happened, why it is happening to me, that will give us a sense of despair in me. So my own divinity will also be impacted by that. Because divinity means I say, yeah, this should happen, and that happens. Each and everything is possible. And as Sri Aurobindo said, all that can be manifested. You just ask and you can get it. But that can be by further advanced yogic practices, meditation practices, self love, self acceptance. And I've been very fortunate enough to meet such people because in between I spent some time in silence in the Himalayas and where I happened to meet many such people. So what kind of vichar, what kind of thoughts you entertain day in and day out is also going to impact your chetna, is going to impact your life. Then the thing comes the vishwas. What kind of belief you have in yourself, who you think you are, and you are what you believe you are. If you think you're strong, you are powerful, then you are. If you think, no, no, I am weak, I am on the victim side, then you are. Maybe the external situation may not be in your control, but nobody can control your thought and your vishwas. And finally, the dhyan. More I am going to experience the inner purnata within through the process of gan, gyan, and dhyan and the meditation. You will experience great bliss within. You will feel nothing more to be achieved. I am always already well in my world. Maybe the actual ground reality may be very different, but you will have that kind of bliss right now. So, you know that Buddha was born in India, and the Buddha was not um, acknowledging God, but the God within you. And the last parting word of Buddha was Apadipo Bhava. Be a lamp to your own life. So, what do you mean by that? Any answers? Have you heard this statement? Be a lamp to your own life? Yeah, please say. Okay. I think you understand, right? Lamp, yeah. Lamp is giving light. So you are giving light to yourself and to the world. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, yeah, very nice, very nice. So that is what it is. We need to really know that we need not to really curse the darkness, but light a lamp. And before that, our own lamp should be lit. Many times we are alive, we finish without lighting our own lamp. What is the unique gift I bring to this world? What I have to contribute beyond myself? That we need to contemplate. Yeah? Because otherwise, there is no, we are not able to harness the power of this human life. And many times people say that I, me, myself, my family, my children, my grandchildren, those kind of things we talk. But I'm not saying that you don't bother about that. But that can be the center of your love, but not the boundary of your love. So we give a lot of importance in India, like many saints in India have given importance to Nishkam Seva. When you are serving without calculation of those returns. And one of that saying is that the tree does not eat its own fruit. The river does not drink its own water. In the same way, the good people, they are living for the welfare of others. But others is fine. But firstly, you need to nurture yourself. And somebody said something very beautifully. Firstly, he said, मैं, I, then hum. Hum means I and you. And then the sub, then everybody. So firstly, I need to look into welfare of my own self. Firstly at the body level, then at the mind level, then at the chetna level. Mind, body, consciousness. What I do for the body, I take good food, nutritious food, rest, relaxation, everything I do. Mind, I have, good ahar, vihar, vichar, vishwas. Thought, belief. What do I for the chetna? What do I do for the consciousness? And one of the very important way to nurture our consciousness is the meditation, self-love, self-acceptance, authentic watching, authentic listening. Swadhyay, Swadhyay means reading good things, being in company of good people, and also spending time with yourself. You see, the moment we are alone with our own self, we get very uncomfortable. Why there are some people who are not able to do meditation? Because the moment you sit with yourself, you are not able to really tolerate that point. Then suddenly those thought of the past, anxiety about the future, they start hounding you. Yeah? So whatever is there with me, and all is well in my world is one of the very good point to start. So as Shobhitji was mentioning that many of the things which we want to learn for living, like accounting, big data, blockchain, all these things maybe can be told by AI. AI can do our work in a much better way. But what about the Vidya? And what we say the Vidya is, Sa Vidyata Vimukta, the knowledge which liberates us. One is the knowledge you get for more and more money, even that is fine. But that will put you in a lot of other kind of bondages. Oh, I got $100,000. Now you'll feel, oh, somebody is getting $200,000. I'm less than him or her. You get to $200,000, then you see, oh, somebody is getting $500,000. Then again, you feel a sense of emptiness. Oh, I'm less than him or her. So that very thought is the problem, and that is stopping your liberation. I need to feel that whatever I have is enough for me. What is being said in India, कि जो प्राप्त है वो पर्याप्त है. Whatever is given is enough for me. That is also the reason when India was known as the Sone ki chidiya, the golden bird. At that moment, the rishis said, it is not the elephant or the cows or all the precious stones. They said, the Gaudhan, Gajdhan, Bajdhan or Ratandhan Khan, जब आवे संतोष धन सब धन धूरी समान. Elephant capital, cow capital, eagle capital, and all the precious stones are on one side. But when you have the satisfaction capital, all the wealth are not even a piece of dust. That was the importance of the inner satisfaction. But nowadays you see that satisfaction has gone for a toss. All the time we are thinking it is not enough. All the time we are restless. We are busy on the phones, always thinking, oh, this WhatsApp message come, I need to reply immediately. I'm not saying you don't do it, but do it with awareness. Money is important, but money should not really all the time control you. That is what Gunjan ma'am was also sharing, the Rishihood. Being in the state of a Rishi, being in the being of a Rishi is so powerful. And I'm very happy to see that the Rishi University is doing so many great things for the nation building, for the international understanding, and so many great programs, and really appreciate that. So we also had a word known as a Raj Rishi, that somebody who is a Raja, Raja means king, and who is with the mind of a Rishi. The trusteeship, you're knowing very well the kind of chair you are sitting is only a chair in trusteeship, in faith is you have been given. You should not feel that all this power belong to you or you can, use it or misuse it, because that will go away. One day Putin will also be history, one day Trump will also be history, anybody. We are also aware that how this Nobel Prize got created because somebody thought that Mr. Alfred Nobel is dead. So somebody put about him that he is the one who created dynamite and how destructive it was. And he was not dead, he could read that. Then he realized, oh my God, this is how I'm going to be remembered when I'm gone. Then he said, chalo bhai, let me create Nobel Prize. So if you're living in that awareness, जिसको कहते हैं शमशान ज्ञान, मृत्यु बोध. When sometime I do program for the senior civil servant, and it is matter of telling them ethics, I tell them about Shamshan Gyan and Mrityu Bodh, and also what is real and what is unreal, and that opens their eyes. But question is that if your Chetna is ready to listen to that, then only you will listen to it. Or any talk about the consciousness. But everything has a time, everything has a purpose. So we all should be mindful about it. Do not relate to us as somebody who is only a function of the body and mind, but much more we are connected with the consciousness, the Chetna, and the unity within all of us, rather than being divided by so many nationalities and this and that. We all are one Chetna. So in India, we also say Aham Brahmasmi, that I am that. And then we also have Tattvamasi. That means you are also that. So when I say I am that and you are also that, that means there is a lot of unity amongst us. Yeah. So I can see I'm a professor, I can keep talking. So let me stop here, and if there is any question I can take, or I want to once again thank respected Sampadanand Mishra ji and the Rishi University for inviting me here and meeting all of you. So my heartiest thanks once again. Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you very, very much, Professor Pankaj Gupta ji, for this beautiful deliberation and exploring the idea of consciousness, that is Chetna, and the uh, the need to have work upon our swabhava and need to be aware of our swadharma and not to curse the darkness but to fight with our own lamp. So these are some basic ideas that you discussed, and I think our listeners here really enjoyed the talk. Now I would like to thank everyone, starting from our keynote speaker, Professor Pankaj Gupta, for taking out time to be here with us. Professor Shobit Mathur ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Rishi Hood University, for giving us this opportunity and for being with us. Dr. Gunjan Rajput ji, Registrar, Rishi Hood University, for gracing us with your presence. Professor Polyakov, Dr. Mariana, Dr. Tatiana, for coming up with this idea to organize this conference once again, and I hope this partnership flourishes for many, many years to come. And Professor Sampadanand Mishra ji for convening this program and for always supporting us. All our branding and communications team for being here with us, for supporting us, our IT department, Abhishek ji, Amit ji, and my own colleagues, Dipankar ji, Vishnu, Anushri ji, Siddharth, Vimlesh, and our interns, Harsh and Manish, and Deepshikha, thank you very, very much for helping us to conduct this program smoothly. And all our participants here who are here physically and those who have joined us online, I can see around 40 people who have joined us online. So thank you very much for being here. We will take a brief gap of 10 minutes, then we will be back here with our first technical session. So we will like to close by observing a little silence so that we can go then and have some tea and then get back. So request you all to close your eyes. Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Once again, we will meet exactly in 10 minutes at 11:40.